Hey, 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 everybody. Hello, hello. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more light on the subject here. There we go. Just getting settled in my new digs here, little by little, one piece at a time, one day at a time. So hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to SoulPet. I'm Elaine, the Animal Reiki Lady, and this is the channel that is dedicated to helping people heal after the loss of an animal companion, and beyond that, helping people find a community, a place of support where everybody who's here understands what you're going through. So let's do a quick hello to everybody, and then we'll get right down to it. Pat, I saw your question. Let's go back to the very top. So first we'll say hi, Pat. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Collie. Who else do we have on here now? Sharon, good to see you. Jody, hello, hello. Cheryl, Kathy. All right, it's so good to see you guys. All right, hi, everybody. Scout was in my dreams this afternoon. That is awesome. I can't wait to share more about dreams. Fatima, hello to you as well. I can't wait to share more with you. And Karen, look, as I'm reading comments as we go. Because I had just an interesting dream last night, and somebody else had asked me, for Aaron, who will probably watch this on the replay. He usually catches this on the replay, who really has a strong connection with his dog via dreaming. And it's a pretty regular occurrence for them now. He can pretty much call it up whenever he needs to. And the question that came from somebody else who was viewing was like, but how do I do that? So I really want to share this information about dream work because I think it is a tool that is underutilized in all areas of our life, not just for connecting with animal companions who've crossed to the other side. I think our dreams can be wonderful tools for receiving messages, for staying connected, for all kinds of things, including getting rid of stress, just kind of shaking out the stress. So we're going to talk about dream work tonight, specifically how to use dreams, how to use dreams, not just luck of the draw, not just maybe I'll have a random dream tonight if I'm lucky, how to actually access our dreams and utilize those dreams to receive the messages that we want to receive. Okay, so I like to say hi to everybody first. We did say the hellos, and I just, for those of you who are watching this on the replay, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master, animal chaplain, and animal medium. And this all started just a few years ago. It's close to 10 years now, but I spent 35 years in corporate. I was a type A control freak, and something magic happened. I have no explanation other than for those of you who are understanding what this feeling of awakened connection is, this feeling of something else more, and then being able to have the courage to say, all right, then I'm going to find it. If there's something more, then I'm going to figure out what it is. And it was the animals who opened the doors for me. And I have to make myself a little note because I want to tell you something funny about Lucy and what Lucy did in terms of dreaming before she passed, and then also when she passed. So I want to write this down here with mugwort. Lucy. Okay. So tonight, what are we going to talk about? Usually, again, for those of you watching this, whether it is a week from now or 5 years from now, this particular live stream is about connecting with animals on the other side of life via our dreams. We're going to specifically focus on dream work. I'm going to share with you how it works, like what do animals, what's typically the most common ways that animals reach out to us through our dreams, and how do we then access that? I know that there's somebody's going to say here, but I don't ever remember my dreams. Or they're going to say, but I don't dream. But yes, you do. Everybody dreams. If you didn't dream, you would not be here. You'd be gone. That's what like torture is. When there's sleep deprivation, it's more than just sleep deprivation. It's dream deprivation. Getting into that state of sleep where you actually have dreams, whether or not you remember them, whether or not you think you dream. Sometimes insomnia and stress can cause us to not get into that dream state, which is just as much. It's just as much. So if there's too much stress in your life, that may also be happening. But I'm jumping ahead. So I'm going to talk about how animals connect with us in our dreams, and not just animals. Now, this channel focuses on animals because I'm all about animals. They're the ones who open the door for me, and I work with animal companions who share our home, otherwise known as pets. Although I would love to get away from using the word pet. And animals in the wild, connecting with wild animals is amazing. And animals in captivity, so those animals who are under the care of humans, which is how those who care for those animals prefer to be called. but we're kind of splitting hairs when we talk about whether or not an animal has freedom. And we can connect with all animals in our dreams. We can connect with all animals in our dreams. So I'm going to share with you some techniques, and I'm also going to share with you some practical techniques and some metaphysical, spiritual, woo-woo techniques. I got my crystals here with me, so I'm going to talk a little bit about crystals and also some herbs and kinds of things that you can use to awaken your connection with dreams. All right. Real quick, I would like to know if anybody has any questions. Since my dad passed, so many people and pets have been showing up in my dreams. Oh, Jody, that's amazing. And to be able to use that not only as a way to be connected, right? We want to do more than be connected. We want to heal the ache. We want to feel relief after the pain of loss. And there's no getting around that. We feel sad when we lose someone, and I'm going to include animals as someone's, when we lose someone dear to us who crosses to the other side. Even though we know all the things that we talk about on this channel, we are so very well aware that we remain connected. Everybody here has a story, at least one story, about how their animal showed up for them. I've got multiple how my animals show up for me. But it's also about healing. It's about coming out better on the other side. It's about continuing a relationship with them. It's about understanding things that they want us to see, that they want to show us, that they want to teach us. It's so much more than just being able to say, oh, I had a dream about Lucy. It's so much more than that. Okay, so let's see what else we got. The green signifies community members, and the emblem next to the name shows how long we've been members. I never knew that about the emblem. I knew the green was that you guys are members. I see now. So that tells you how long, the color of the paw. Okay, got it. All right. Using your crystals for meditation lately, they are so much more powerful. One night, maybe that'll be next week. I will do crystals. There is, I love to get a little metaphysical. I love to go down the spiritual woo-woo hole. I love to get a little hairy-fairy. I love to say hairy fairy instead of airy-fairy because of all our beautiful fur babies. But I have done more and more studying with crystals. So maybe we'll talk about that because they have a unique role in helping us be connected. But first, I got to go close my door. So bear with me for a second. While I go close, I can hear somebody coming in, so I just want to close the door. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Right here, still here. Dun, dun, dun. Closing the door so we're not disturbed. Okay, here I come. Back again. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Somebody who I don't see on here tonight, Diane. Hello, dear. And I don't see... oh boy, I can't remember her actual name. Ocean Lee, who sent me who's been sending me pictures of a rooster, a chicken, a hen that she found on the side of the road. So I love that you guys share all that. I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's look at Fatima's question real quick. I know we're connected to our pets who've passed on life and beyond, but when we reincarnate, we don't remember them. What happens? Does our connection remain somewhere? Yes, we've missed you too, Diane. Okay, that's a question that we might have to pick up at another time. I'll give you a real quick. When we choose to come back here in the physical, it's a choice. So our souls, when we pass out of our physical body, we go off to the other side, exactly where our animal companions are. You'll have to go back a couple videos. I should start keeping track of which videos are which. Maybe I'll start making myself a little corporate spreadsheet. No, I won't. When we talk about the quantum field and this field of energy, it's now proven by science. This is not just a spirituality thing, a metaphysical thing. We have this field. There is no empty space. So this thing that we think is empty space between you and me, between the lamp and me, between this air around us is actually full of energy. And that energy is more than we can see, but it's how we can sense, and it's how we stay connected with our animal companions. I mentioned water, ice, and steam. Water can take many forms: rain, ice, steam. You can boil it, you can drink it, you can swim in it, you can bathe in it. It can be a tidal wave. It can be a glacier. It can be all kinds of things. And that's just a little metaphor for what happens with our soul when we leave our physical body. When we leave the physical body, we enter back into all knowing. So we know everything that there possibly is to know. In fact, you know it instantly. Anything that you ever needed is quicker than the word instant. That's why our animal companions are so good at connecting with us, because they have gone back into this energetic field of intelligence where they have access to all information. And I'm not talking about the information you find in books. I'm talking about all universal information. We and any soul that crosses to the other side has access to that information. We then make a choice of what we want to do. We can do anything. There are things that we are capable of doing on the other side of life that we can't even know, like other planets, other solar systems, other physical manifestations of ourself beyond just our human bodies. But when we choose to come into a human body, and I'm not going to go too much more into this beyond this, and maybe it's a discussion for another time. When we choose to come into our human body, we let go. We purposely want to forget, because we want to experience this life and everything it has to offer. We want to experience it from a clean slate. We don't want to know, and we are fed breadcrumbs along the way of our life, and we follow those little breadcrumbs through our life. And sometimes we go that way, and sometimes we go this way, and sometimes we go straight ahead, but we follow these little breadcrumbs and we enjoy every moment of it. And when we are done and out of our physical body, we go, wow, was that the wildest ride? Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I just took that wild ride, and look at all I did. Look at everything I've been through. Look at all the experiences. Look at all the emotions, all the feelings, all the joy, all the love, all the tears, all the pain, you went through, you picked it. You picked it. And then when you decide to come back, and so you remember, and you see your animals again, you see all of your soul family again, and then you decide what you want to do again. And a lot of people pick to come back to earth. They pick to reincarnate back here, to go through it all over again. And then we're wiser. We know more. We don't remember all the details, but we come back spiritually wiser than the last time we were here, and the last time before that, and the time before that. It's why we have seen history evolve over time as well, because as beings, as human beings, we are also advancing. Okay, that's enough about that for now. We would have to get. As you can see, I could talk all night long about that stuff. Let's talk about dreams. That's what y'all came here for tonight, is to talk about dreams. Open a sanctuary. Wouldn't we all love to open sanctuaries? Jen, good to see you. Hello, everybody. Numbers are stuck in your head. Okay, so I will let you guys talk amongst yourselves. Wow, that's good water. That was really a good glass of water. I could have downed the whole thing. So let's talk about dreams. Our dreams are something that it's a complicated topic, because we start dreaming as soon as we even dream in the womb. So we dream before we're born. We dream as we're growing in our mother's tummy. We dream once we come through and come out into this physical world. We're dreaming from the time we are infants, and our dreams take all kinds of turns. I would love to be able to know what an infant really dreams about. I would love to know if they're dreaming of heaven. I would love to know if they're dreaming of angels. I would love to know if they have memories from the other side still coming through in their dreams. I think that is what they dream about, but I can't be certain, and I would love to just know what that is. But we begin dreaming. And then as we grow and our brains begin to grow, hang on a second, it's really hot here and I've got these really giant slippers on. As our brains begin to grow, our dreams begin to shift, and they begin to reflect things that happen in our life. And when we're little, we sometimes have nightmares. We have dreams that we don't understand. We have funny dreams, confusing dreams, sad dreams, all these dreams that bring up emotions, but they're random. We're not ever taught how to start using our dreams. And if we could start teaching our children how to access the dream state from an early age, I think that might shift things for our younger generation, to help them understand how to use the tools. So like all of us here, we're adults before we figured it out. We're all over. We've got all kinds of age ranges here. I don't know what everybody's age is here. I just know what my age is. So we we are adults before we figured this out. But if we could go back and go back and access our dreams in a whole different way, what a change that would be. So I want to show you how you can start actually using dreams, that they're not random, why we do sometimes have upsetting dreams or spooky dreams, stress dreams, and how we can kind of set that aside by intentionally focusing on what and how we dream. Just like when we wake up, we do everything. Well, a lot of what we do is by default, and that includes dreaming. So I want to teach us how to actually use these dreams. How do animals come through to us? So going back to what Fatima asked about the reincarnation, the forgetting, I mentioned that every soul on the other side of life has access to all information everywhere. And those souls, from my understanding, from my meditation, from my connection with these animals, they are learning as much as we are. So they are learning how to connect with us from that side of the veil, just as we are learning to connect with them from this side of the veil. They just have a little bit extra advantage because now they've got access to all kinds of things that we don't. They cannot show up in the physical. You are not going to get I'm not going to see Jack sitting right here that I could reach out and pet. It's not physically possible under the constraints that we have set up here on planet Earth, but we can access their energy, and they are learning how to use that energy to access us also. So dreams is a very easy way for them to access. It's also an easy way for us to connect with any soul on the other side. And if you want to, you could connect directly with Source. Whatever your religious preferences are, I'm not going to speak to religion. Everyone has been raised different. Everyone thinks different. Everyone believes different. I don't want to ever exclude anybody or make a judgment based on my own religious beliefs. So, well, I don't even know where I was going with that before I got off on that tangent. Oh, that you could connect directly with God if that's what you chose to do. When I was a little girl, I was raised Catholic. I consider myself a recovering Catholic. And I was taught that we needed a priest. We had to have an intermediary, that there needed to be someone between us and God to kind of smooth the way, to kind of help us so that we didn't get punished or sent to hell, that could put in a good word for us, so to speak, who was an emissary of God, who could relieve us of the sins, all the sins. What could my little 8-year-old self have done? I can't even imagine. But regardless, we no longer need that intermediary. We are learning that we are directly connected. We get there through meditation, and we can get there through dreams. If you wanted a direct message from infinite intelligence, from the source, the divine, God, Buddha, Allah, spirit, whatever you want to call it, whatever your sense of a higher power is, you have access to that directly, and dreams is one way to do it. So how do our little animal companions get in touch with us? How do they use dreams? I made myself some notes here so I wouldn't forget, and I don't want to move my crystals too much. Hold on. I'm already to the page of somebody who's saying, what if I can't? Okay. It can be just an encounter, like a vivid encounter. And you guys can comment if you've experienced any of these kinds of dreams. So how they come through, one way, and these are just the most common ways, not all the ways. A vivid encounter, it feels real, where I did have somebody ask me earlier this week, but was that a dream? And my answer is, how could it be a dream? That was not a dream. That was a real experience. You see, hear, feel, touch. It's as if your animal companion is right there with you. It's so real that when you wake up from the dream, you want to go back into the dream. That's how real it is. It can also be symbolic. So symbolic messages, you might be dreaming about a bright light. You might be dreaming about another animal, but when you wake up from the dream that even though you were dreaming about a raccoon, it was really your kitty cat Phoebe, whatever it might be. Or it could be a specific setting. There could be something very unique about the dream that is not necessarily your animal companion, but when you wake up that it was some kind of connection with your animal companion. It was symbolic. Through emotions. So emotions, could be when you awaken once again, you may not have actually had your animal companion in the dream, but you awaken with a feeling of peace or love, or that you've been reassured. You feel that relief. It's a feeling, a beautiful feeling, that you're connected, and that somehow your animal companion reached out to you. And then repeat dreams. So often they will come back again and again and again, and that's just the way that they're choosing to stay connected with you. This is not random. They're not random dreams. Dreaming we think is random, and we always. I mean, I know sometimes I set the tone for my dreams, and sometimes they go, "Oh, surprise me! I can't wait to see what I dream." All right, let me check your comments real quick. Okay, so Cheryl, what's your question? Honestly, no desire to reincarnate. Yep, you say that now. You say that now. I joke that this happened when this is what I related to. I relate life on Earth to being an Ironman competition. And an Ironman competition is where these elite athletes, the elitist of the elite, what do? I don't even know all the things that an Ironman does. They swim the ocean for 100 miles. They ride their bike for 100 miles. They have to run then for another 100 miles. It's something crazy, absolutely crazy. And when they're done, they are completely wiped out, and they will say, never again, until the next Ironman race comes up. When I was invited to climb a mountain, I wanted to hike a mountain. I wanted to hike to the top of the highest mountain in the US. And I had to train for it pretty extensively, but I wasn't like hand over hand. Hang on, my slippers are stuck. I wasn't like hand over hand climbing up a mountain. There was some of that, but mostly it was walking up this mountain. And it's called a 14er. For anybody who lives in Colorado, you know this. If you don't live in Colorado, you may not. So I wanted to hike this 14er, and it's an all day thing. And when you get to the very top, so if it's like 6 hours to the top, then it's another 6 hours to get back down. So you hike up to the very tippity top, and the adrenaline, the rush of adrenaline, this is what I want you to relate it to. The rush of adrenaline was so strong and so amazing. This is what it's like when you get to the other side. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Look at everything I did. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. It was amazing, the most amazing experience of my life. I am never doing it again. And then the opportunity presents itself in a little bit different way. And your soul says, maybe I'll do that if I can connect with Jody next time that I'm down there. So Jody goes, oh God, all right, I'll join you. But if we do that, then we have to have a horse ranch. And you make all these plans, and then you come on right back to Earth. That's what I think about that. Okay. I just saw your live. This is the perfect dreams. Aaron, you're the one, bud. You're the one that somebody asked me about specifically. Somebody specifically asked how you get to connect so often in your dreams. And that's really why I wanted to teach this tonight. Okay, so not random, and I've gotten off on another topic, the nuns. I could talk about the nuns forever. Sister Mary and Meba, Sister Beebe, Sister Crow, all that. Yeah, there was a lot of nuns. Okay, so I asked, when we pass, do we find out who or what our past lives were? Yep, 100%. And this all trickles in on itself. When we get to the other side, yes, we know all of our past lives. And I've explained this before, and I don't have it with me. I don't even know where I packed it, and I will have to just make another one. That the way that I understand reincarnation is not linear. So it's not like we started out in, as cavemen, and then the next life we came back in the Middle Ages, and the next life we came back as, it's all overlapping. Like I used a fan, and the fan was all crinkled up. And we're the thread that goes through the fan, and it goes up and down and around and circular. Somebody else explained to me that their sense of reincarnation was circular. So there's a starting point, like your soul is always at a starting point, and then it rings out there, like all these different rings surrounding each other. And you can come and go for each of those rings however many times you want. And the rings are infinite. It's more than we can wrap our little human minds around. So yes, we do. We absolutely. And that it's also the sense of deja vu. And the more that we come back, which can be as many times as we want in whatever form we want, the more that we come back, the more we retain for each consecutive lifetime. And I'll just go a little bit more hairy fairy on you. It's not past, present, future. You can actually access your future as much as you can your past. So not only have you had past lives, you've had future lives. And I know that one's a real mind spinner, to get to think about that you could access a future life, because time is not linear the way that we think of it as. It's I like the idea of the concentric rings now that I think about that. Okay, let's go back to dreams. And then the repeat dreams. So what do we do? Dreams are not random. How do we actually intentionally practice working with our dreams? I keep moving this from side to side as the light is shifting here. The first one is, this is at night, and I'm going to get to the point. And when people say to me, but what if I can't dream, or what if I don't dream, or what if I don't remember my dreams? One of the ideas is to try to nap. Now, right before I went live tonight, I jumped onto YouTube, and YouTube's always popping up videos that are, I swear, they read your mind sometimes. It was about how a woman in Sweden was explaining how the people who live in Sweden, where there's a point in the year where there's 24-hour daylight, how they successfully sleep, even though there's no actual night. And part of the dream process relies on the fact that your body recognizes a difference between night and day, and is able to generate the hormones that you need that induce sleep or induce awake, melatonin and serotonin. So I didn't get a chance to watch it because it was just as I was jumping on here. But if anybody wants to check that out, I would be very interested, because the type of sleep that you get determines how well you dream. And the first thing that you're going to do, so let's talk about, if you're going to dream at night, when you go to bed, the way that anybody would typically go to bed. So you've been up all day long, 9, 10 o'clock at night, it's dark outside, you're going to sleep for the night. I don't know how I ended up with such a good glass of water. The first thing that you're going to do is you have to prepare yourself for sleep. Whether or not you're setting an intention to dream, you need to prepare your body for sleep. The best sleep will come for you just like when you were little, and we would help our kids get ready for bed, and there was a routine, and they got in their PJs, and they brushed their teeth, and they laid in bed, and they got a story, and then the lights went out, and then they fell asleep. We've kind of like bypassed that whole routine as adults. We may scrub our teeth real fast. We may, wipe the makeup off our face. But we are typically still looking at our phone, or have the TV on, or have some kind of screen in front of our face. All the lights are on. We are possibly hustling and bustling still from the day, whole bunch of things on our mind that went on all day long, repeating back to ourselves all the stressors that went on throughout the day, holding conversations again that we had throughout the day, all in our head, holding conversations with people that we're going to talk to tomorrow. We do all of these things that prevent our body from getting into the space for sleep. So the number one thing that I would recommend you do is prepare yourself for sleep. It takes a little bit of effort, but if you really want to connect with your animal companion, then you'll take the few extra minutes. About 1 hour is what I recommend. About 1 hour prior to falling asleep, you want to start to set the tone. So you'll do those things that get you into the sleep state. Set aside your phone. If you've got an alarm on your phone that you've had to set, then set it and forget it. Set it aside, make sure your computer is off, turn off your TV, no more screen time. What we are trying to do is allow our body to decompress, allow our mind to decompress, and not to stay stimulated. All of those things will keep our brain stimulated. And as much as our brain wants to work for us, our brain, everything that I teach you is your brain wanting to work. It wants to do the job. It wants to do what it's programmed to do. And that is do these things for you, including dreaming. But anyway, so you want to set the tone for your brain to be in that space where dreams can come alive. First thing I would do is make sure there's no screen time 1 hour before bed, preferably 2, but I can't even get to, and I practice this, I can't get to 2. I need 1 hour before bed, before all the screen time is off. And then I make sure that my room is comfortable. I will brush my teeth, I'll brush my hair, I'll wash my face. I will Try not to have those conversations in my head, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Where you're replaying all that stuff in your mind. Just remember that at this moment in time, at this minute in time, there is nothing you can do for any of those things. There's nothing as you're preparing for bed, there's nothing you can do about putting gas in the car. There's nothing you can do about the milk that went spoiled in the refrigerator. There's nothing you can do about the boss who pissed you off today. There's nothing you can do about the traffic that you're going to be in tomorrow. So just let it all go, because there is nothing you can do about it in this time anyway. And this time is yours. You are creating this time because you have set an intention that you want to connect with your animal companion. So set the scene. Prepare yourself, prepare your body, prepare your room. I did write down here, and then I scribbled it out. Perhaps you might want to light a candle. Don't light the candle, because if you fall asleep, I don't want to be responsible for what happens when the lit candle continues to burn throughout the night. So let's let the candle go. But you do want to set the scene. So let it be nice and calm and peaceful, the place that you're going to be, and get your bed all ready, have your fun pillows, have good sheets, have your best comforter, whatever it is that makes you comfy in bed. That's what you want. Have your glass of water right next to you. I also suggest a dream journal. This does not have, you don't have to go out and spend any money on a dream journal. You guys know my journal is a 99-cent copybook from the local grocery store. Just get something where you can start to write things down. I want you to keep it by your bed, even if it's a little scratch pad. You guys know me. I have paper everywhere. I have this little pad here, whatever it is that you can keep by the side of your bed. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but you're going to have it all set up. And then you might want to set an intention. So you've got everything ready. Your room is ready. The lighting is ready. You're in a place where you don't have to get out of bed. You can just turn the light off. You're going to lay down in your bed. You're going to be ready to turn the light off, and you're going to set an intention. Very, very important. You can say it out loud, or you can say it in your head that you are intending to dream. You are setting an intention not only to dream, but to remember your dreams. That's one of the biggest problems is they're like, what do they call that? Gossamer wings, or it's like a mist that's all right there, right as you're waking up and you've got this dream. Then all of a sudden your eyes open up and you flip your feet out of bed and poof, it's gone. So we are going to set the intention to connect with our animal companions. You can say it out loud or in your head. You can write it down if you want to write it down. I invite you. So you're speaking directly to your animal companion. We're going to use Jack as my example tonight. I invite you, Jack. I request, I ask, I can't wait to connect with you in my dreams. And please, I set the intention to recall my dream, to remember my connection with you. I am open to receive. Jack, I am open to receive messages. I'm open to receive your hugs. Jack was very stingy with kisses. He would not kiss. He, like most dogs, will give you, like to enjoy the process of licking. Nope, not Jack. Jack was very stingy with his kisses. So I would say, I invite whatever. I invite your cold nose. I invite, if you do want to give me a little kiss, I invite anything at all. I invite the connection with you tonight in my dreams. And I am open to receive, and I will recall the dream. Or what did I write? Or I will remember it later. Has that ever happened for you? Where you get out of bed and you know that you had a great dream, but you can't remember it. But 5 hours later at work, somebody says a word that goes, oh gosh, that's right. I forgot. I had that dream about. So you're going to remember, you're setting the intention that you are inviting your animal companion to connect with you. You're open to connect with them, and you're going to remember it. You're going to remember it. And then have a dream journal. The dream journal is any kind of notebook. And in that dream journal, you are going to capture any details, anything you remember at all from your dreams. You are going to write down any feelings, even the vaguest, even the foggiest things that you remember from your dream. You're going to write those down. Fragments, feelings, anything at all is what I want you to write in your dream journal. And you write it down as soon as you wake up. That means even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you wake up, you're going to write it down in your book. Now, I understand that if we have to be up for work at 6 o'clock in the morning, it may not be the most practical thing to do. So do it on a day when you can do that. If you know that if you wake up after a dream and you want to write it down, I would suggest doing it because I think we've all experienced this as well, where we had this really great dream and we wake up going, oh, wow, what a dream. I remember that dream. It was me and Jack and Lucy, and we were in the snow up on the mountain, and they were running around chasing each other. And I'm going to remember this dream. I am going to remember this dream. And you review the details in your head as you drift off back to sleep, and you wake back up and it's gone. It's just gone. There's not. So that's why I like to write it down. Immediately like to write it down. And then patience. Patience, because it can absolutely happen on your very first try, but it often takes more than one try, and you have to keep at it. You have to keep practicing it. Just like anything that we talk about, it's a matter of practice and patience. You continue with the practice, your body, it's like retraining your mind. You're retraining your brain what you need for it to do. You're retraining your body about dreams not being random, that you are in charge of your dreams, just like you are in charge of your thoughts. You are the one. It's your dream. You're dreaming. You can set the stage. Okay, I want to tell you a couple more things, but let's check the comments real quick. Struggle with remembering dreams. I'm going to give you some more tips in just a minute. Mainly don't want to reincarnate because I don't like pain. The water is infused with love. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah. We've got to talk about water. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but I am studying water and the things I am learning about water. Jody, you're well aware of some of the things that I'm discovering about water and the messages we can receive from water. So maybe we'll do crystals and then move on to water. Did you say 9 or 10? Oh, okay. That's a great point, Cheryl. That's a great point. Different people, your body is on different cycles. I completely understand that. I am talking about a cycle where during the day, we wake up around 6 or 7 in the morning. We do our thing throughout the day, our waking hours. We eat our dinner, we get ready for bed, we go to sleep by 9 or 10. It's just, if you wanted to take it into chunks of hours, that's fine too. Although our bodies are generally attuned to the sun and the moon and the evening and the night and the dark and the light. But you can absolutely, it's totally okay. Whenever your normal time for bed is, you're going to want to set aside 1 to 2 hours prior to that time to decompress and to set the stage for your dreaming. A great point. Have to put the kids to bed. Okay. Oh, well, have fun putting the kids to bed. That's a great thing to do. And I will see you on the replay, and we have lots more to talk about. Saw my cat. A person. Hello, a person who has had a cat in their dreams. Oh, wait till that he is still with me. Funny, my Piper told me today to practice. Oh, Kathy, LED candles. I've got one around here too. Good idea. LED candles. LED candles are fine for not burning down the house, but there's something about a real flame. I am drawn to flame. I just like to watch a flame flicker, and enough to mesmerize me and make me drowsy. So that's why I caution you about the candles. Or you can always have candles, of course, in a glass jar too. But anyway, okay. So let's continue on then. I want to tell you a couple stories. Why did I write Lucy's name down next to set the intention out loud or in your head? Oh, and maybe I wrote it on the wrong page, because Lucy has taught me a couple things about dreams. My Lucy is my black lab who crossed in August of 2020. And when on the day that she crossed, she came to me in a dream. And she also had her own experience with dreams that I do not take as coincidence. I take nothing as coincidence. But Lucy came to me in a dream, and she's the first one who actually taught me about understanding dreams from animals and cultivating our dreams from animals. Lucy also had this thing. I got to save it for another couple seconds when we get down to the part that it really applies. But I wrote Lucy down there for a reason. I invite you to connect in your dreams. Okay, don't remember. But the other thing about Lucy is that sometimes when you think that you forgot the dream, or you didn't get the dream that you were hoping for. The example that I used was Lucy. This was a couple months ago. I realized that I hadn't felt my connection as strongly as I had. I hadn't dreamt about her in a couple of weeks. I hadn't dreamt about her. And I set the intention. I laid down in bed. I did everything I just taught you to do. I set the intention, and I was confident. I couldn't wait. And when I woke up in the morning and there was no dream from Lucy, and that's when I was like, okay, Lucy, what's up with that? And that's when I walked into the store and there were the Lucy shirts there. So it was like her reminder to me that, yeah, I did come to you in the dream, Mom. You just didn't remember it. So here's a big neon sign for you. First thing, so what if you can't, or what if you have trouble remembering, or what if you forget all the time? What if you're one of those people who wakes up and the dream just floats right out of your mind? Um, how do you remember it? So keep your dream journal handy. The first thing is try to take a nap. So instead of doing it at bedtime, do it at nap time. Set the intention as you're falling asleep for a nap. You do the same thing. You set the scene. You lay out, like I've got a little comfy couch behind me. I would lay on my comfy couch and I have a really cool pillow there, and I just close my eyes. Sometimes I put in headphones. Sometimes I put a mask over my eyes, and you just lay there and you do the same thing, but at nap time instead of at bedtime. That often helps you remember them because you're not falling back into a deep sleep. And then a dream-friendly environment. A dream-friendly environment is a very dark room. If you cannot do a dark room, then I would recommend a sleep mask. Some people can't sleep with sleep masks, but find a way to make it as dark as possible. I know I'm a little obsessive about this. Me personally, I need dark, and even a pinpoint of light it doesn't make. I prefer to sleep in total darkness. Like I'd love it to be totally dark. So I'm one of these ones that goes around with black electrical tape. I have my little roll of electrical tape here in this new space. I went and I was taping over smoke detectors and LED lights, the TV light, the everything. I don't like to be bothered by because they're like laser pinpoints of light. I would much rather cover them up and not have light. So as dark as possible. It should be quiet and free from distraction. So you're setting up a dream-friendly environment, free from distraction, no screens. Do not watch the news before you fall asleep, please, because that is what your brain will take in. Your subconscious mind will take that in. Instead of being able to focus on connecting with your animal companion, you will be having stress dreams. Stress dreams are those dreams that are a result of the things that we experience or watch or see or talk about throughout the day. They release themselves through the dream state. That it's a beneficial process because it helps us to subconsciously eliminate the stress from our lives. Otherwise, we internalize it. But it does also stop us from connecting with our animal companions. So dark, quiet, free of distraction, no screens. A dream journal. What to write in your dream journal. Let's say that you wake up in the morning and you don't remember the dream. Write that in your dream journal. In your dream journal, I would want you to write, I don't recall my dream. Let's try again. I don't recall my dream, so I'm going to set the same intention again tonight. Let's keep on trying till we get this right. Trusting that your animal companion on the other side of life is learning like you are and is just as eager to connect with you. So let's keep at it. Let's keep trying. Let's keep trying. And we are retraining our brain to dream with purpose instead of random. Okay, now this is the point that somebody brought up about their alarm clock. Wake gently. So perhaps shift the type of alarm to which you wake up. I love to wake up naturally, and my body is now pretty much trained to wake up at the same time every day. But there are times when we don't trust ourselves to wake up. That'll be the one day that you don't set the alarm, right? That you trust yourself to wake up, that you miss your flight or whatever it happens to be. So wake gently with soft sounds. So a soft, peaceful sound that wakes you up, whether it's a soft music, the sound of the ocean, whatever that little, there are alarm clocks now that are specifically set to wake gently. So you wake gently. Soft sounds. Not just wake gently. Don't move. I think one of the tricks is not to move your body, but instead to reflect on your dreams. When we move our body, the second that we turn, roll over, or like you get out of bed to go to the bathroom and you're like, oh, I'll remember this by the time I'm just going to go run to the bathroom real quick and I'm going to come back under the covers and lay down and reflect. And it's gone. It's just gone. So before you move, that's when you want to reflect. Just call back those memories and then write them down. And then sleep quality. I will say that this takes practice. The waking gently to soft, gentle sounds and not moving, it's our instinct to like swing our feet over the side of the bed and hop out. So that takes a little bit of practice. Sleep quality means care for your nutrition, no alcohol before bed. I'm just trying to think. It's not that I'm judging alcohol. I love a glass of wine. But before sleep, if you really want to do this, your sleep quality is best when you have good nutrition. And we'll get to the metaphysical tricks in a second. So I want to tell you a couple things. The first one is about the dream that I just had. And when you are having dreams, I write this down no matter what, even though I didn't understand and still don't understand the meaning. Early morning, and that's sometimes when I dream the most vivid dreams. It's early in the morning, right before it's time for me to get up. I was having a dream, don't know what it means. It was me and Gypsy. So Gypsy is the dog who shares my home now, and Gypsy is blind. And we were laying under this pole. It was a tall pole and had these kind of stalks coming off of it. There was something blue here and there on the pole. But in the dream, I kept saying to Gypsy, I can't believe nobody invented this. I can't believe nobody hasn't invented this before. This is the most amazing thing ever. How did we not ever think of this before? And I just had this feeling of, wow, there's something real. This was this pole that had the stalks coming off it with the blue tips on it, was something really, really special. And when I woke up, I did that. So I dwelled on it because it was with me, and I was like, what do you think that was? Because I woke up with the feeling, you guys know when you wake up from a dream and it's still really fresh. I was feeling that elated feeling like, wow, we just invented something really cool. And then my logical mind kicked in and went, wait, but what did I invent? I didn't invent anything. There was this pole with stalks and blue tips on it. But I wrote it down because somewhere, somehow that dream is going to have meaning. And even if I cannot find the meaning for that dream, writing down the content of your dreams trains you to remember more dreams. So write down everything that you've possibly got. All right, I'm checking on time here. Okay, let's talk. I'm going to check some questions. Isn't there a candle that puts itself out? Not quite sure, but wouldn't that be ideal? I saw a flash vision of her too. She looked healthy. Flashes of our animal companions absolutely can. What they can't do is like sit on our lap. We can't look down and there's going to be Winston waiting for me to snuggle him. His energy will be there. His love will be there. Sometimes Winston is the one who I can mostly get the flashes from. He zips right by. Flashes are absolutely, that's another way for them to access you with their energy. Wayne Dyer used to say your thoughts are like marinating in your brain. Yeah, that's right. I love Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer is on the other side. If you really want to go down the hairy fairy rabbit hole, then you can connect with anybody who has crossed to the other side. Their energy is still there, even if Wayne Dyer decides to reincarnate. No idea, but you can still connect with their energy. So you can connect with Wayne Dyer. If there's things you'd like to know, Neville Goddard, Wayne Dyer, who else is deceased? Paramahansa Yogananda, everybody, Buddha, Jesus, it doesn't matter. You can connect with anybody on the other side, any soul on the other side. We're talking about the animal companions who were near and dear to our hearts, our soul pets, but you can connect with anyone. So Wayne Dyer, yes. And it's what you think about. What's that? What's Hebb's law? Brain cells that fire together, wire together. So when you are concentrated on all of like watching the news before bed, believe me, I used to do it all the time. I must have spent 30 years, as long as I was in corporate, every single night, my husband and I fell asleep watching the news. What a way to fall asleep. No. There are so many better ways. I now love to watch online Reiki, or there's some ASMR stuff that's meant to help relieve, like let all the daily stressors go so that you can fall to sleep in a nice, relaxed place. Don't know if I don't get to work on time, I get charged a lot. Oh, you get charged. Okay, gotcha. All right, so military, 100%. There's a whole lot. That's a whole nother story too with the military. But so, all right, so you got to have an alarm and you got to be sure. So maybe there's a time you do this on the weekend or a time when you're not at work that you can try it with a nap. but there are ways around it. I'm certainly not going to tell anybody that they shouldn't show up for their, yeah, next thing you know, you're going to be in big trouble. Um, Ask God to show you a dream. It might not be that night, but he will surprise you. Yes, that is absolutely true. You can ask to receive a dream, and time still is not linear. So if it doesn't come tonight, it may be the next night or the next night. Ask and you shall receive. It's a saying that I live by. Ask, receive, believe. This is all there for us to access. This is not, I talk about it as if it's metaphysical, but it is deeper than that. Our bodies are designed for this. We're just learning now how to use it. What did the blue tips look like? I don't know. I'm going to have to try to draw it. I've thought about that. They were, I can't even describe to you what the blue tips looked like. It was like caps, only the caps on top of these, it was not smooth. I can't describe it. I would have to see if I could try to draw it. Some of them were lit up also, like some of them were blinking. Okay. Okay. Well, Kylie, we can always talk. You can please let me know. I would love to know if there was more about that, because but it was this marvelous invention. It was marvelous. And why hadn't anybody thought of it before? Those are the kinds of dreams really that we need to try to start to interpret. And I think the only way to interpret them is writing them down. Okay. So let's talk about some things. I've taught you how to set the tone and how to set the space and how to ask for the intention and how to create the environment that's going to allow you to dream. But there are also some metaphysical, like spiritual things you can do, such as crystals. One of the suggestions, now I'll tell you about just a little bit about crystals. I am not a person who believes that there is magic in a crystal. This beautiful amethyst moon that I have here, this is purple. It's hard to, sometimes the camera doesn't do it justice. This beautiful metaphysical crystal in and of itself does not hold magic. It's not, there's not some magic in this, just like there's no real magic in my big pen. The magic comes from the energy that's all around it. The magic and information comes from the fact that this crystal was once a part of the earth. And when it came from the earth with the colors that it had and the minerals that are part of it and the parts of the rock of the earth that it was attached to, it carries history with it. So amethyst is one of the crystals that is used to stimulate our brains in order to dream. So what you would do with this, and again, anybody who's been through my Reiki classes, there's a couple of you in here, you know that what I say is you are the crystal. You are the magic wand. You have everything within you that you possibly need. But as human beings, we like this experience. And some of us are just drawn to crystals. I love this purple crystal shaped like a moon. It's really cool. I know that there's no magic in here, but I also know that it has history and it has memory and everything is energy, this beautiful energy that resides in this purple stone. But what you would want to do with crystals, so there's a couple different crystals. I'm just going to give you three. One of them is amethyst. So that's a little, now this one happens to be polished. Do I have a raw? I do have one, but it's across the room. You might have seen them. They're still attached to the rock and there are little spikes of purple that come off the rock. Any kind of amethyst is fine, but this one is good because I can slip it under my pillow. And what you want to do with crystals is let them just rest with you. You can set the intention right with your crystal and say, I need a little bit of boost. I need a boost tonight. I need some help with this dream thing. And you put the crystal under your pillow or you put the crystal on your bedside table, whatever you want. The other kind of crystal is a moonstone. Now this one, you're not going to be able to see it too good. Again, moonstone, it kind of looks like opally. Yeah, it's not doing any justice whatsoever. A moonstone is almost like an opal. So it's got that iridescent, only it's cloudier than an opal. And but it's got iridescent, so it's iridescent. And if you go to your local crystal shop, your local rock shop, you can ask for that. You can ask them, you tell them that you want a moonstone and they'll show you what they look like. But they're really kind of pretty. So moonstone is another stone that is associated with dreaming. Again, you would just place it under your pillow or on your bedside stand. And then the other one is labradorite. Again, the camera is not going to do this justice, I don't think. This is the most beautiful stone. Labradorite, it looks black here, but it is not black. It has got rainbows of color all through it. There are rainbows of color all through here. It's like looking at an oil slick and that rainbow on the oil slick. That's what labradorite looks like. Oh man, if you could just see this, you hold it to the light in a certain way and it's just got this rainbows of blue and purple. It's absolutely beautiful. So moonstone is one of my favorites. I'm sorry that I can't get you to see that. But moonstone, because it's so pretty, do the same thing. It goes under your pillow or you set it on your bedside stand and you set the intention that the energy from that crystal will help you to enter the dream state, have a dream, and remember the dream. Then the other thing would be herbal tea. And this is where I wanted to bring up Lucy. Herbal tea like mugwort. If anyone has ever heard of mugwort, don't go do this without some advice. You would need to find somebody who's experienced with herbs. I'd be happy to recommend somebody if anybody really is interested in that. I can recommend someone who I know is very good with creating herbal essences. And the one in particular that is associated with lucid, vivid dreams is mugwort. And my friend, who she no longer does this, but she was an herbalist, and now she's doing something different. She created for me this tea. So what you do is the mugwort it can be found almost all over the U.S. I'm not sure about the European countries. You take the mugwort, you dry it, and then it makes these little leaves, much like tea leaves, and you crumble them up and you make them into a tea. You don't have to drink the tea. You can also take the leaves, place them under your pillow, just like the crystal. And the mugwort, she gave it to me in this little pouch. It was an envelope about yay big, and there was enough in there for a couple of cups of tea for the mugwort, because I really wanted to have lucid dreams. It's meant for lucid, vivid dreams where everything is really real. And a lucid dream is different than just a vivid dream. A lucid dream is one where you are well aware that you are in the dream and you are able to control the dream. That is a subject for a whole different time. It takes a lot of effort and energy, and I very rarely am able to achieve a lucid dream. Some of you can comment here if you do lucid dreams. Anyway, Lucy ate the whole bag of mugwort. This was about maybe a month before she crossed, when I had left it on my bedside table, and Lucy was a foodie, and I guess it smelled good. And when I got home, I was on a little trip just for a few days. When I got home, I found the envelope, bits of it, pieces of it, all chewed up. She had eaten all the mugwort. So I can only imagine the dreams that girl had. And I wonder if it didn't set the stage for her to be able to come to me in the very first dream on the very first night when she crossed. I really, really think that that's what happened. I think that it's not a coincidence that I left that mugwort on the table. I think it's not a coincidence that she ate the whole envelope of it. I think it taught her, a dog, how to have a lucid, vivid dream. And then on the night she crossed, when she came to me as a vision of a wolf, it's all connected. It has to be all connected. I have no other explanation than it's all connected. So that was the Lucy story about the mugwort. Okay, so besides herbal tea, you want to find an herbalist who understands how to actually, because I wouldn't know how to tell you like what kind of dosage to use, which is, I really do miss my buddy Melissa, who knew how to do all these things. Essential oils like lavender. So I have this little thing of lavender here. You would just put a couple of drops into water in a diffuser, and then you let your room get the scent of the lavender. And that's also something, and a diffuser is something that will not, like when the water's done, it turns itself off. So you don't have to worry about that. You can let the scent flow through your room as you're drifting off to sleep. A guided meditation is another one. There's many of them on YouTube. You can look up, just search on YouTube for guided meditation to help achieve the dream state. There's plenty, and you can listen to the guided meditation as you fall asleep. You can just do a sound bath. There are sounds that are just tones with a little bit of music to them that are meant for sleep. You can look up something called the solfeggio frequencies, SOLFEGGIO, solfeggio, the solfeggio frequencies. You can look up any kind of sound bowl healing, any kind of sound healing that is meant for dreams. Just search for it and you can listen to one of those. And it may take you a few times just to find one that you really like, but that can also help you enter the dream state. And then the other thing, if you think that you're not having dreams, then ask for the reminder like I got from Lucy when I said, dang, I did everything right last night. I thought I did. I did everything right. I set the intention. My room is all set. I'm lying in bed. Nothing is on my mind but Lucy. And I just don't want to forget to tell you that. Cross my fingers so I don't forget. And I didn't have the dream. So she showed me a sign in my waking hours to show me that I had dreamed and that we had been connected, and that's when I found the Lucy t-shirt. So there, ask for a sign. If you think that you forgot the dream, go ahead and ask for a sign. Then the other thing to do, while I crossed my fingers, do I have them here? No, they're also across the room. When you move, sometimes getting things reset up again in the way that you're familiar. If you have their collar, so if you have your animal companion's collar, and their clay paw print, the name tag, what else do I have for them? Paw print, name tag, whatever personal memento that you have of theirs, put it under your pillow, hold on to it, let it be on your bedside. Those are the kinds of things that that's a really big boost for helping you reach them through your dreams. I love to sleep with their collars. I have Jack, Lucy, and Winston's collars. For Jake, I only just have a little bit of his remains. But it's just a wonderful way to my subconscious mind. I feel like I'm falling asleep with them, and it gets me into that dream state. Okay, was there anything else that I wanted to share with you guys? I'm going to ask for questions. So today I did not have the time to dedicate to reaching out to an animal companion. And when I thought about it tonight, I realized that it would have not been doing that beautiful animal companion. It's not like I don't have like a list of animal companions, but I would not have been doing it justice. It would have been rushed, and I don't like to do that. I like to sit down in a place where I can really quiet my mind and connect with them and honor their memories by sharing information with them that I can share with you. So we don't have an animal companion that I'm going to connect with tonight, but I'm open to questions. So if there's anything you guys want to ask me here, Labradorite is from Labrador. Oh, and Newfoundland, Canada. I did not know that. And Labradors, right? I didn't even I did make the connection, but not just now when I was saying that. If you guys could see this Labradorite, you have to hold it up to the light because it looks like a black rock, right? It looks like a black rock. You hold it up to the light. I wonder if I can make it work. No. It's got oh my gosh, I can't even describe the shades of blue and purple mostly that are running through this beautiful crystal. I'll have to see if I can take a picture of it. You can look it up online too. Okay. So what I would like to have you guys do, try changing it to a softer sound, right? Not a wah, wah, wake up. Make it just a soft, gentle, little birds chirping, it's some soft voice saying, wake up, Kali, get out of bed. And thank you. I love you too. I love all you guys. You guys are so awesome. It's beautiful. I have a huge, oh, wow. That's really cool. I would love to, maybe I will. Now that I have this difference, I can't stop looking at it. I just can't stop looking at this stone. Okay, let's move on. Any questions? Started reading before bed, The Secret Life of Bees. Wait, Kali, did we talk about that? You are not going to believe this. I've got to put this down. I don't think it was with you, Kali. I had a reading. I don't think it was with you. I had a reading earlier this week, and The Secret Life of Bees came up, and I wrote it down. I wrote down The Secret Life of Bees, and I asked the person if they had any idea what that meant. Secret Life of Bees. I got to go back and find my notes. Any idea what that meant and why the name of that book popped up for me. And she said, I have no idea. I've never heard of it before. And that's when I talked about Easter eggs. So what happens is when you start to get signs when you do a reading like I do with animal companions, we may get information that makes no sense whatsoever. And I chalk it up to, I call them Easter eggs. Like you're on an Easter egg hunt and you'll eventually find out what it means. Or you're on an Easter egg hunt, or you've hid the Easter eggs and it's a year later and you found it hidden behind the piano and now it stinks. But anyway, Secret Life of Bees. I knew it was going to come up. I just knew it was going to come up after the reading that I had. You had a dream about Lucy you wanted to mention. Yes, I already talked to the dream about Lucy. That was when she ate the mugwort that started the whole chain of things. And okay. Oh, it was you. Okay. That's funny. You're reading The Secret Life of Bees. Because where would it come from? And you're meant to read it for some reason. Okay, so that had to be it. All right, good. And I mentioned it when you read for Gary. Okay, all right. I thought it was something else too. Isn't that funny? Now, when things like that come up again and again and again, there's also something there. There is absolutely something there about either the movie or the book or bees or the secret life of bees or us all being connected in some way. Okay. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you tonight. I will see most of you at some point during the week. I see a lot of you guys on Tuesdays, some of you on Friday mornings. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday. And until then, may animals light your way. And you guys are so, oh, you're so welcome. Oh, I'm so glad to see you here. All right, my friends, have a great night. I will talk to you soon. Be well, and may animals light your way. Take care.